you ever wished for a simple, undeniable experiment to prove to yourself, once and for all, that your imagination is the one and only creative power? For years, I offered this very experiment to my students. A strange, almost playful exercise, yet so powerful it can compel your subconscious mind to create an event in your reality. An event your conscious, rational mind may insist, with all its might, that it does not want. I call it the ladder experiment. And I must have you understand from the outset, this is not about affirmations. This is not about positive thinking. This is a profound psychological test designed to give you absolute personal proof of this law, often in the most startling and even humorous ways. What we will do here today is unravel the power behind one of Neville Goddard's most direct and transformative teachings. And once you have the proof, once you feel the floor of your old reality tremble beneath your feet, we will not stop. We will then adapt this powerful principle and apply it to one of the most common desires of man, the manifestation of unexpected money. Therefore, listen closely, for the secret to unlocking a flow of abundance into your life might just be as simple as feeling yourself climbing a ladder. Why should you care about this more than anything else you have ever heard about the power of the mind? Because the world is saturated with theories, but starved of experience. You do not need another concept to file away in your mind. You need an experience that shakes your foundations, a proof so personal that no external doubt can ever tear it down. That is what we are speaking of today. Not belief, but knowledge. The knowledge that comes from testing a universal law and seeing it respond without fail. We live in a world that teaches us, from the cradle, to trust only what our five senses can validate. We are trained to be creatures of circumstance, reacting to a world that seems external and solid. We believe in effort, in struggle, in linear causality. If you want something, we are told, you must fight for it in the world of Caesar, the physical world. But what if that is only half the story? What if true causation is vertical, not horizontal? What if the world you experience is just a mirror, a shadowy reflection of what you are doing in a far more real place, your own wonderful human imagination? This is a bold claim, and the rational mind, the guardian at the gate, will reject it immediately. It will ask for proof, for evidence, for data. And that is precisely what the ladder experiment offers. It does not ask for your permission to work. It does not ask for your belief. It simply asks for your participation. It was designed to bypass the skepticism of your logical mind and speak directly to the creative power within you. The experiment itself is deceptively simple, and therein lies its power. I would give my students to seemingly contradictory instructions, creating a deliberate conflict between the inner and outer worlds. The first instruction was to be performed only in the sanctuary of the mind. I would tell them every night for the next 3 days, as you are entering the state of drowsiness, that marvelous state bordering on sleep, I want you to imagine one simple thing. In your imagination, feel yourself climbing a ladder. Do not just see it, feel it. Feel the wooden or metal rungs in your hands. Feel the muscles in your arms and legs moving. Ascend the ladder, and then descend. Loop this simple physical action over and over until it takes on the tones of reality, until you fall asleep in the very act of climbing. That was the first instruction, an act to be lived and felt in the theater of the imagination. Then I would give them the second instruction, to be performed in the outer physical world. I would say, take several pieces of paper and write on them, in bold letters, this simple phrase, I will not climb a ladder. Place these signs all over your home, where you will see them constantly, on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator door, beside your bed. Let your conscious, rational mind be bombarded all day long with the command that you will not climb a ladder. Do you see the beautiful and intentional conflict we have created? On one side, we have the conscious mind, the intellect, being told one thing, I will not. But on the other, we have the subconscious mind, the creative power, being impregnated with the feeling of an action already taking place, the act of climbing. The purpose of this experiment is to prove Which of these two is master? Is it your conscious intention and your willpower, or is it your sustained, feeling-toned, imaginal act? Before we proceed to the shocking results and the application of this principle for abundance, I want you to reflect for a moment. What is the greatest ladder that your rational mind tells you that you cannot or will not climb in your life right now? What is the desire that seems so impossible that your logic dismisses it immediately? Leave your answer in the comments, for in acknowledging this barrier, you take the first step to transcend it. The results of the ladder experiment, when reported, were invariably a mixture of shock, amazement, and amusement. Inevitably, within a few days, my students would return, their certainties about reality shaken to the core. One would say, "Neville, it was the strangest thing. I was home on Saturday, and my neighbor called me, desperate. His cat was stuck high up in a tree. Without a thought, he handed me a ladder and asked for help." Another would report, "I was in a bookstore looking for a rare first edition. The book I wanted was on the top shelf, completely out of reach. The clerk simply rolled over a small library ladder and said, 'Here, use this.'" A third, a lady, told of how she went to visit her daughter and, upon arriving, found her changing a light bulb, balanced precariously on a chair. "Mother, for heaven's sake, hold this ladder for me. I almost fell." The daughter cried, and there she was, her hands firmly on the very ladder her conscious mind swore to avoid. Every single one of them, despite their conscious intention not to climb, found themselves in a perfectly natural, unforeseen circumstance where they were compelled to climb or directly interact with a ladder. The conscious mind, with all its reminders and its firm resolution, was completely overruled. The order given to the subconscious mind through feeling was executed with a precision and naturalness that defied logic. This is the proof. Your subconscious is not impressed by your logical declarations. It is not moved by your willpower or your negations. It is impressed by the feeling of an action, the reality of an experience created and sustained within your own wonderful human imagination. Now, let us go deeper, for this experiment was never truly about ladders. The ladder is merely a symbol. This experiment was designed to reveal a fundamental law of consciousness. Why did all those students climb a ladder, despite their conscious decision to the contrary? The answer lies in understanding the nature of your mind. You have two minds, or rather, two aspects of your mind that operate in distinct ways. The conscious mind, the part of you reading these words and analyzing their logic, is your masculine aspect. It is the sower of the seed. It is the intellect, the rational mind, the guardian at the gate. It lives in the world of facts, of evidence, of the past. It is powerful in the world of Caesar, the world of physical things, but it is not the creative power itself. Its function is to choose what will be allowed to enter the garden of the subconscious. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, is the feminine aspect. It is the womb of creation, the fertile soil. It does not originate ideas, but it accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels as real. It is entirely impersonal. It does not judge. It does not question whether a seed is a weed or a flower. Its sole function is to give form and expression to whatever is planted within it. The imaginal act of climbing the ladder, performed in the drowsy, receptive state, bypassed the guardian at the gate. In that state, your analytical mind is at rest. You are not reasoning, you are feeling. And the language you used to speak to the subconscious was not the language of words, but the language of experience. You did not use words of negation. You did not use willpower. You gave it a vivid sensory experience. You gave it the feeling of an action already taking place. For the subconscious, an imaginal act felt with conviction is no different from a physical act. It accepts the feeling as a fact. It has no sense of humor. It does not understand just kidding or only an exercise. To it, if you felt it, you decreed it. It is a done deal. You may have spent your entire day consciously affirming, no, 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 but in a few moments, in the receptive state of sleep, you whispered to the true creative power a resounding yes, and the subconscious, having accepted the blueprint of the ladder climb, began its work. As it controls your intuitive urges, your sudden impulses, and the natural unfolding of events in your life, it began to move you through time and space, constructing a perfectly logical bridge of incidents to lead you to the one experience that would fulfill its instructions, a ladder that needed climbing. The majority of people believe they must change external circumstances to change their life. They battle with conditions, try to manipulate people, force events to their will. But that is like a gardener trying to change the fruit by tearing it from the tree, instead of changing the seed that was planted. The ladder experiment proves that causation is otherwise. So, true change occurs when you plant a new seed, a new feeling, in your subconscious. The subconscious then rearranges the world around you to reflect this new reality. This is the great secret. You do not need to convince yourself to believe something. You do not need to fight your own rational doubt. You simply need to give your subconscious mind a clear, feeling-toned, imaginal act, and it will do all the rest of the work for you. It will move heaven and earth to make your inner world an outer reality. The latter was the proof. Now, let us use this profound principle for profit. The language of the subconscious is the secret code to creation. If you try to speak to it in a language it does not understand, your words will be empty, your efforts futile. The conscious mind speaks with logic, words, and effort. The subconscious mind, the creative power, speaks only one language, that of feeling and sensory acts. Feeling, in the context of Neville's teachings, is not merely a passing emotion like joy or sadness. It is the sensory conviction that something is real. It is the quiet acceptance, the sense of naturalness. When you truly feel that something is a fact, you are no longer hoping for it. You are living from the knowledge that it already is. Think of it in practical terms. When you know you have money in the bank, you do not walk around in a state of frantic excitement. You simply operate from an assumption of security. That assumption, that calm feeling of course I do, is the kind of feeling that impregnates the subconscious. The ladder experiment works because the act of feeling the muscles move and the rungs in the hands is not an abstract thought. It is a simulated sensory experience. You are giving your body, in imagination, the sensation of the action. Your subconscious does not distinguish between a sensory experience lived in the physical world and a sensory experience lived vividly in imagination. To it, both are real, both are facts. This is why affirmations, by themselves, so often fail. Repeating, I am rich while your senses and your body are screaming, I am broke, creates a conflict. The subconscious mind is always more impressed by the dominant feeling. If the dominant feeling is one of lack, that is what will continue to be expressed. The secret, therefore, lies in bypassing the guardian at the gate, the conscious mind and its logical arguments, to implant the feeling of the wish fulfilled directly into the subconscious. And the most effective way to do this is through what Neville called the state akin to sleep. This is the drowsy state you experience every night before falling asleep and every morning upon waking. It is a state of heightened receptivity. Your conscious mind is relaxed, its defenses are down, and the veil between the physical world and the world of imagination is at its thinnest. In this state, you can impregnate the subconscious with an efficacy that would require Herculean effort during the day. The instruction is not to think of your desire, but to think from it. This is a crucial point to think of. Your desire is to see it as something separate from you, something you do not yet possess. This reinforces lack. To think from your desire is to enter imaginatively into the state of the wish fulfilled. It is to ask yourself, how would I feel if my wish were already a fact? What view would I have? What would I be doing? And then, you enter that scene. You live it and feel it as if it were real now. If this knowledge is opening a new door in your mind, take a moment to like this video. It's a small gesture that helps us reach more people who are ready to awaken to their true power. So, how do we adapt this ladder trick to manifest not a simple physical action, but the flow of unexpected money and abundance into our lives. We follow the exact same principle. We will bypass the conscious mind's arguments about how the money can come, and instead, we will give the subconscious a simple, sensory-rich scene that implies the money has already arrived. And here is the most important instruction I can give you. Do not, I repeat, do not try to imagine the end result itself in the abstract, like a mountain of cash or a title on a door. This is too static, too grand, and your rational mind will instantly reject it as fantasy. The secret is in the simplicity, the naturalness. You must imagine a simple, personal, human action that implies the end result is already an accomplished fact. The ladder experiment was not about visualizing a ladder. It was about the act of climbing. Likewise, to manifest money, you should not visualize the money. You should enact in your imagination the act that would naturally follow its receipt. You must move beyond the desire and inhabit the reality of its fulfillment. The conscious mind is obsessed with the how. How will the money come? From where? Is it possible? It will try to build a logical bridge of incidents, and if it cannot see one, it will declare the desire impossible. But the subconscious, the master builder, is not the least bit interested in the how. It operates from a higher plane. Its only requirement is a clear, felt image of the what. Once you give it the final destination, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it has ways that you know not of. It will construct the bridge of incidents for you, and often in ways your conscious mind could never have conceived. Therefore, your task is not to plan, but to feel, not to struggle, but to accept. The true aim is not to get things, but to ascend to a new state of consciousness. When you assume the feeling of already being the person you wish to be, the things corresponding to that state of being appear in your life as a natural consequence. Money is not something you chase. It is something that follows you once you inhabit the consciousness of abundance. The ladder was the proof that your imagination, not external conditions, is the cause of your life's experience. Now, let us use this proven law to manifest a significant desire. We are about to construct a new ladder in your imagination. A ladder that will lead you not to an attic, but to a new state of financial freedom. What you must also grasp is the profound truth that everyone is you pushed out. The neighbor with the cat in the tree, the librarian with the rolling ladder, the distant uncle with the books. These are not separate, random agents acting independently. They are messengers, actors on your world stage, playing the part you assigned them in the theater of your mind. When you successfully impregnate the subconscious, you rearrange your own consciousness. And since the entire world is a projection of your consciousness, the people in your world must change their behavior to conform to your new assumption. They will have perfectly natural reasons for their actions. Your neighbor will believe it was his own idea to ask for your help. Your uncle will feel a sudden, logical urge to clear out his library. They are playing their parts in the divine play you have written and directed within. Understanding this removes all anxiety. You do not need to persuade, manipulate, or coerce anyone in the outer world. To do so is to admit that power lies outside of you. Your only point of influence is your own imagination. Change your assumption of yourself, and all the world will change its reflection of you. This is the ultimate responsibility and the ultimate freedom. The world you see is a mirror. If you do not like the reflection, do not try to break the glass. Go within and change the face you are presenting to it. The technique for building your new ladder to abundance is that of the short, implied scene. The power is not in the complexity of your imaginal act, but in its intensity and frequency. You must create an imaginal act that is so short and clear it can be easily repeated, like a lullaby, until you drift off to sleep. Remember, long, grandiose scenes are an invitation for the conscious mind to interfere, to analyze, and to doubt. A long scene can devolve into daydreaming, losing its creative potency. The secret is condensation. You must condense the moment after your desire has been fulfilled into a single sensory act. The ideal scene has a few key characteristics. First, It must imply the fulfillment of your desire. Do not show it happening, show what happens just after. Second, it must involve you. You must be the lead actor, not a spectator. Third, it must be rich in sensation. The subconscious is moved by what you feel, touch, hear, and see in your imagination. Feeling is the seal that validates the order. Avoid, at all costs, creating scenes that feel forced or theatrical. Naturalness is the key. Ask yourself, if my wish were fulfilled right now, what would I naturally do, see, and feel? The answer to that question contains the seed of your perfect scene. For example, instead of imagining winning the lottery, a highly improbable event for the rational mind, imagine the conversation you would have with your family the next morning. Perhaps you say to them, "We don't have to worry about that anymore." Feel the relief in those words. Feel their reaction. This short, personal, and emotionally charged scene is 1,000 times more effective than the impersonal image of a winning ticket. It is believable on the level of feeling, and that is what matters. We are about to explore 3 specific, powerful scenes you can adapt. But first, I want you to pause and reflect. If all the money you desire or need appeared in your bank account tonight, what would be the very first act, the first conversation, the first natural feeling you would experience tomorrow morning? Not the grand gesture, but the small moment of relief, of freedom. What would be your personal scene, your simple act that would imply your greatest financial wish is already a reality? Share its essence in the comments. By defining it, you make it real. Now, I will give you 3 specific ladders to abundance. 3 carefully crafted scenes, each designed to impregnate your subconscious with the feeling of wealth and success. Listen closely and choose only one. The one that resonates most deeply with you. The one that evokes the most natural feeling of reality. Tonight, and for the next 7 nights, you will perform a new experiment. The first option is the official notification. In your imagination, as you drift into sleep, you are holding a single, crisp piece of paper. It is not just any letter. It feels official, important. It could be from a bank, a law firm, or a government agency. Your eyes are not drawn to the details, but to one bold line at the bottom. A line that confirms a sum of money has been paid to you. A sum so significant it makes your heart leap with joy. Do not just see the numbers, feel what they represent. It is the feeling of a slate wiped clean. It is the feeling of absolute freedom. It is the silent, breathtaking realization that it is done. It's finally over. You fold the paper slowly, a quiet, profound sense of peace washing over you. This feeling of finality and relief, that is your scene. Loop this feeling until you are asleep. The second option is the reverberating yes. This is for any desire that depends on the approval or agreement of another. A job, a contract, a proposal, a sale. In your imagination, you are not replaying the entire conversation. You are focused on a single moment, the moment just after they have given you their answer. You hear their voice, clear as day, saying the one word you long to hear, yes, or perhaps, of course. We'd be honored to have you, or the deal is yours. Do not let the imaginal scene continue. Just allow that single word or phrase to reverberate in the silence of your mind. Yes, yes, yes. Feel the wave of warmth, validation, and victory that washes over you. It is not excitement. It is a deep, satisfying click as a piece of your life falls perfectly into place. The sound of that yes and the feeling of the door to your future swinging wide open. That is your lullaby. The third option is the confirmed victory. This is for those who enjoy the idea of a sudden, joyous windfall, like a lottery or a contest. But you will not imagine the drawing of numbers. That implies uncertainty. Instead, you will go to the end. In your imagination, you are holding a newspaper or looking at an official notice. Your eyes scan the list, and then you see it. Your name, your number. It is confirmed. It is real. Do not focus on the grand prize. Focus on the single, electric moment of confirmation. Feel the sudden jolt in your stomach, the gasp of air the moment of stunned silence before the overwhelming joy rushes in. Feel your hand tremble slightly as you read your name again and again. That one single, explosive moment of "it's real, I have actually won," that is your scene. Live in that moment of confirmed victory and fall asleep in that dizzying, joyous shock. Choose your ladder. Whether it is the feel of an official notice, the sound of a triumphant yes, or the shock of a confirmed win, commit to it. Do not analyze it. Do not question where the money will come from. Your only task is to perform this simple imaginal act faithfully every night and allow the master builder within you to construct the bridge of incidents that will lead to its fulfillment. And so, the secret is revealed. The ladder experiment was never about climbing. It was about proving to you that a sustained imaginal act is a creative act. It is a command that your subconscious mind is compelled to obey. This is why persistence in your assumption is the key to victory. Once you have performed your imaginal act in the state akin to sleep, your work is done. During the day, your task is to not interfere with the creative process. The world of your senses will parade before you, showing you evidence that your desire is not yet fact. This is the great test. Can you remain faithful to your inner reality when the outer world seems to deny it? You must learn to die to the evidence of your senses. When worry or doubt arises, you must turn away from it and return, in feeling, to your scene of the wish fulfilled. Do not argue with the doubt. Do not fight the negative thoughts. Simply turn your attention away, as you would from something you dislike. Persisting in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the whole of the law. It is a quiet, inner knowing, a mental diet where you refuse to entertain thoughts and feelings that contradict your fulfilled desire. This is not about being passive. It is an active, conscious choice to inhabit the reality you have chosen within, regardless of the shadows outside. Your loyalty to your unseen reality is what brings it into being. You do not need more belief. You do not need more willpower. You need only to choose a simple sensory scene that implies your desire is fulfilled and to occupy that scene in your imagination until it feels real. That is the trick. That is the entire law in practice. Now, I leave you with a challenge, a 7-day experiment in conscious creation. Choose your ladder for unexpected money tonight. Commit to it for 7 consecutive nights. Live in that imaginal act as you fall asleep. During the day, do not look for it. Do not be anxious. Simply carry a quiet inner expectancy. And I invite you, I challenge you, to return to this very space and share your results. Let us make this place a living testament to this powerful, practical law. What you have learned today is more than just a technique for manifesting money. It is a key that unlocks the door to a new way of living, a life where you are no longer a creature of circumstance, but the conscious, deliberate creator of your own magnificent reality. If you are ready to stop being a creature of circumstance and become the creator of your reality, subscribe to our channel, for this journey is only just beginning. What does this teaching awaken in you? What old belief does it challenge? Reflection, ritual of the day. Tonight, before you sleep, do not ask for anything. Simply observe your thoughts without judgment. Notice which ladders your imagination climbs out of habit. Are you rehearsing worry or fulfillment? Just observe. Awareness is the first step to change. The ladder is before you. Will you climb? Now, let us go into the silence.